If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com, and of course you can use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another prediction video. Today, some more Future Stars predictions. I did do this before, but what I've done, and you're about to see some of the old card design, what I've done is I've included all of the old players that I had in the first predictions for the first half of the video, so that if you didn't see it or you've forgotten who I've included, you can see them again. And then I've gone through and added a whole lot more as well. There's just as many at the end as there are at the beginning. And of course I've updated the card design as well. The card design looks really nice. It's a lot brighter than this. There's some sort of cartoony effect on it as well. So I've taken out a few of the players that I included in the first video. Those of which who got themselves headliner cards, for instance. I think for the likes of Haaland, he's likely to get a ones to watch, so I'd be very surprised if they gave him a Future Stars. And he's not exactly a future star, is he? Let's be honest. He's a star right now. He has scored more goals in the season so far in like 58 minutes worth of football than Thomas Muller has scored all seasons, for example. I don't think that is the type of player who should be getting a Future Stars card because he already is. So ones to watch for him. There are a few others as well that I wouldn't be surprised got ones to watch cards ahead of Future Stars. And of course, like I said, there are a few that I included before that would have got headliner cards, for example. So that's why I've taken those out. Now, the first set of players, as I say, it's the old card design. It's one that was just a placeholder, really, like speculation. Because we didn't know what the card design was. Future Stars is coming Friday, so it made sense just to go back, have a look at the old ones before we go into the new and updated ones. Some of these cards I'd love to see. Some of them are just pure skeptical, just literally just thrown in there, and I'm willing it to happen. The Liverpool players in particular, I've included quite a lot of those. This is a guy, I mean, he's 17 years of age. For Inter. He's causing ripples in Europe right now. That kid, looks great. Greenwood is a card you'd expect to see. There are actually a few Manchester United players that you would expect to see. Daniel James being one of them. I think he will feature if I've not mentioned him already. Gravenberch would be a good one. Not necessarily one that fits many teams, but again, links with the likes of Ziyech if you've picked up that player moments card and so on and so forth. There's a lot of Chelsea players in here because most of their starting 11 are 12 years of age, so it would make perfect sense for them to be involved in Future Stars. But what determines a future star? You know, like Mount, for instance, is he a future star or is he a star right now? You know, is he a regular in the Chelsea team? If he is a regular in a team that essentially in one of the best leagues in the world, does that make him a future star, or is he like this guy, someone that hardly anyone is going to know the name of? And I've got a lot of these to feature as well. A lot of players that you wouldn't necessarily know to sort of hear their name. But then maybe if you went and look at the team, you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I kind of half recognise that card. Tomori is a player, again, you know, gets regular football for Chelsea. Paqueta to a certain extent as well. Fairly, I wouldn't say regular football, but, you know, he's known. So is he a future star? To me, future stars are players who aren't necessarily in and around the first team, and who haven't been given that much football but show great signs and promise for the future. Dan James, and this guy in particular, actually, Jones for Liverpool, that is a card I would justify giving a Future Stars card to, because he only ever gets featured in FA Cup games. They never play him in the league, or if they do, it's only for like 2 minutes. Never really anything extensive. Like this, for instance, Merritt, I think, is Napoli's goalkeeper. So, is he a Future Stars? He plays for one of the best teams in Italy, or one of the bigger teams in Italy. So, Kangin Lee is a player that I would definitely say is a Future Star, because, again, he's not really well known. Doesn't get an amazing amount of football. The Real Madrid centre mid here, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, I'm going to get it wrong. Again, does he play every single game? Like, Dan James gets a lot of football. Martinelli is one that I think we can all agree on. He will get one again. Doesn't feature necessarily much in the league, but gets a lot of cup time and is a very good player as well, and has done really well in his appearances. Hudson-Odoi has been around for quite a while now, actually, given his age, but I could definitely see him getting a Future Stars card. He would be one of the higher rated ones as well. Haidara of Leipzig. It'll be interesting to see how he fits into life at that club, really, because they've got a new signing, of course, and they've got a bunch of good players there. Burge, a player who has been... he was in the media recently, I think yesterday, because he was on his way to Manchester United, which wasn't happening. Zaniolo has done his ACL, so he's out for the rest of the season. It would be a really, really nice touch from EA to be able to give him a Future Stars card, because he won't be getting anything else for the rest of FIFA. Hakimi of Dortmund would be a good card. I mean, I say good card. It would be a really expensive card given the pace, the dribbling ability on that left back. A lot of people use their left backs as attacking players. And this is the final player of the old design and the old video, Rodrygo, 91 rated, potentially could be 92. I doubt there'll be any higher than that. I'd love to see some 93 rated cards, I really would, but I think that's stretching. Diangana then of West Brom. This is the new card design. I believe this is the card design. It's not like quote-unquote official, it's just what people have made. So I'm hoping it's the same thing. If not, it's pretty much as close as it can be. Very good pace and dribbling on Diangana of West Brom. Henderson, the goalkeeper, of course. I think he's on loan from Manchester United, isn't he? Wouldn't be surprised to see him either make a permanent move away, or maybe De Gea makes the transfer, Henderson becomes Manchester United's number one. To be honest, at the moment, I'd argue that he could actually be on par with him in terms of ability. Malin, we saw him at the very beginning of FIFA 19 with an inform. He was one of the first, and people were buying him left, right and centre. He was in a lot of people's teams, and then of course fell away because he wasn't quite good enough, but I could definitely see him getting himself a Future Stars card with 99 pace, very good dribbling stats and decent finishing. Moving on to Saka. Now, I do apologise if you think he deserves to be higher rated, and I'll agree with you, whatever rating you decide, within reason of course, but I actually don't think he's going to get one anyway. I think it's going to be the other guy. I'm going to mispronounce his name. Is it Martinez or Martinelli? I can't remember which one it is. Either way, I think it'll be him, not Saka. But this guy, again, I keep saying this guy, that guy, this player, because I can't pronounce their names. I mean, what is that for a name? I can't say that. I'm not Spanish. I'm just going to say that that Spaniard. He looks like a really good player, to be fair. Really good dribbling and nice passing. Definitely one for the future. I mean, as they all are. Terrier, this guy actually has a lot of potential to go on and get several informs this season. Basically, Memphis Depay is out with an injury. They've just brought in Toko Akambi, but he is still, Terrier that is, featuring in the starting teams, and he's playing very well. Oscar of Leganas, I really like this guy in real life. I think he's got a massive future ahead of him. Whether EA know enough about football to choose some of the players that I've chosen here, I'm not like bigging myself up or anything, but I do a lot of research into football because of a certain platform called the Football Index. You need to know a lot about football, in particular if you're investing. This is yet another one of those players. I'm not even going to remotely try and pronounce that guy's name, but very, very young. I think he's 19. Very, very young. Good looking prospect, and I would not be surprised to see him. However, like I said, if EA don't really watch football and they're just going off the popular younger players, like this guy, I would hazard a guess that unless you're a Shakhtar fan, you're not going to know who Kovalenko is. But I've watched him play. I've done my research on him. I own him as well inside of the Football Index, so I know enough about him. He looks like a really well-rounded card, and I'd love to see some of these players get some special items in FIFA. Castillo, he gets sporadic football for Rennes. He got an assist in the cup yesterday evening. He doesn't get like regular football, but he has made like a handful of starts this season. Gets on as a sub now and again. Looks quite decent. Serdar, this guy, I wouldn't be surprised if he was 90 plus rated, because he is, at the moment on Football Index in particular, he is flying. I own a hell of a lot of shares of him, and I've watched him play, and he's a regular for Schalke. He is a really, really good player, and I would not be surprised if he was higher than 87, but like I said, I just don't trust EA's footballing knowledge. Gomez is... I think Gomez is a player that could feature, but then again, they could not feature him. Because Rodrygo, I think, is on his way to Barca, that would make Gomez the main striker for Valencia. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't give it to him, because they expect him to get loads of informs and special items. He scored 2 against Barca at the weekend. Dani Olmo, he's recently made that move to Leipzig. I'd love to see this, I really would, because he's such a good player in real life. I've used him on Football Manager for the last 25 years, and he's still really, really young. He's made that move I'm hoping he can do well for them. Him and Werner linking up. I think it'll be a really good partnership, and good links as well, Spain being in Germany. Theo Hernandez, this guy, I mean, he deserves this card. I say that. Does he deserve a Future Stars, or does he just deserve a higher rated boost through a January upgrade? I'm not sure, because he is already a star, in my opinion. Interesting. Final two players, Tossart. I did have this guy on the Football Index if you're interested, and then I sold him at the very beginning of the season because he kind of fell away. He's coming back into form now, and I think with the right coaching and some starts, he could actually turn into a really, really good player and could be one of France's #1 starts for a long time to come. Really good looking player and a semi-decent looking card, I suppose. And of course, Martinez, a player that everybody thought was going to get a headliner and didn't. Were they saving him for the spearhead of their Future Stars promo? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. He got himself sent off on the weekend, so unfortunately not going to be seeing any football for the next couple of weeks. But with a Future Stars card, he could see the inside of your team. I would love this card. He is fantastic in game with his UCL anyway, so it would be really, really good to see this Future Stars. I would be very interested in picking this up. And with that being said, that is going to bring us to the end of yet another prediction video. If you think I've left anybody out, then feel free to let me know. I mean, with Future Stars, it is quite literally a guessing game. I've gone through as many of the young prospects as I can. There are a lot that I've left out purposefully. There's like duplicates from Liverpool. You could literally pick half of the under-23s team. Chelsea, there's so many to choose from. Of course, Manchester United in there. There's a few Arsenal players. There's loads of youth players that I can choose. Absolute, just tons. But I can't include them all, and I've got to go with the most likely, so that's what I've tried to do. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have done, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.